Have you ever heard of a soft drink that became a symbol of resistance? While Coca-Cola and Pepsi rule the world with billion-dollar marketing machines, one small cola from the Middle East is quietly winning hearts, not with celebrities or Super Bowl ads, but with identity, pride, and purpose. This isn't just a battle of flavors. It's a cultural revolution in a can. This is how Salam Cola is crushing Coke and Pepsi, and why millions are choosing it, not just to quench their thirst, but to make a statement. Origins of Salam Cola, born from resistance, built on identity. To understand how Salam Cola came into existence, you have to look beyond business and into the heart of political and cultural resistance. In the early 2000s, growing frustration in the Middle East and parts of Asia created a demand for local alternatives to global brands, especially Western ones. Multinational corporations like Coca-Cola and Pepsi were seen by many as more than just drink makers. They symbolized decades of Western influence, cultural dominance, and political involvement in the region, especially in countries like Iran, Lebanon, Syria, and Palestine. At the same time, economic sanctions, military conflicts, and boycotts were isolating these regions from global supply chains. Western products became either too expensive, hard to find, or simply unwanted. In that atmosphere, Salam Cola was born, not just as a beverage, but as a response to the question, why should we keep drinking something that doesn't support us, doesn't represent us, and doesn't belong to us? Salam Cola answered that question with its very name, Salam, meaning peace, in Arabic, Persian, and several other regional languages. The name itself was a quiet rebellion. While Coke and Pepsi were symbols of globalization, Salam was a symbol of local strength, faith, and cultural pride. Unlike its Western competitors, Salam Cola wasn't designed to be glamorous. It didn't try to look American or appeal to global trends. Instead, it leaned into its origins. The packaging featured Arabic and Persian scripts. The design felt familiar and relatable to locals. Its formula was adapted to local tastes. Slightly less sugary, often more carbonated, the company made it clear, this isn't an imitation, this is ours. In countries where religion, identity, and politics were deeply intertwined, Salam Cola became more than a soft drink. It was a reminder that resistance doesn't always look like protests and politics. Sometimes, it looks like what's on your dinner table. And from that mindset, Salam Cola began its quiet, determined rise. Why people boycott Coke and Pepsi. From soft drinks to soft power. To understand Salam Cola's rise, you have to understand why people started turning away from Coca-Cola and Pepsi in the first place. For decades, these two giants weren't just seen as soda companies, they were seen as symbols of American influence, global capitalism, and even political agendas. In many Muslim-majority countries, especially across the Middle East and South Asia, growing awareness of international politics sparked waves of boycotts against Western products, and Coca-Cola and Pepsi were always at the center of that backlash. One major reason was perceived or alleged support for Israel. Many activists, religious leaders, and communities accused Coca-Cola and Pepsi of either funding pro-Israel causes or having strong business ties with the country, particularly during times of conflict with Palestine. Even though these companies often denied political involvement, the damage was done. In the eyes of many, drinking Coke or Pepsi felt like supporting a system they were actively resisting. But it wasn't just about politics, it was also about cultural erosion. Western brands were seen as pushing foreign lifestyles, values, and consumer habits, slowly replacing local culture and traditions with globalized commercial ideals. Religious and nationalist groups began urging people to support homegrown alternatives. Scholars gave sermons, posters were printed, social media campaigns trended with hashtags like boycott Coke, support local. In times of war and sanctions, like in Iran, Syria, and Palestine, Coke and Pepsi either became unavailable or were deliberately rejected, and that's where Salam Cola stepped in. While Coke and Pepsi were seen as outsiders, Salam Cola was the familiar face. It didn't come with political baggage, it came with peace, literally. So choosing Salam Cola wasn't just a matter of taste, it became a moral decision, a way to protest silently, and a way to reclaim identity. In a world where every purchase can be political, even a sip of cola started to mean something. Halal and cultural positioning, a cola that speaks your language. One of Salam Cola's biggest strengths isn't in its ingredients, it's in its identity. While Coke and Pepsi aim to be universal, Salam Cola is proudly local, embracing the culture, language, and religion of the people it serves. Its label features Arabic or Persian script, not English slogans. Its Halal certification isn't a bonus, it's essential. Unlike Western brands, Salam Cola's marketing aligns with local values. During Ramadan, it partners with mosques and community events, becoming part of daily life. From iftar meals to family gatherings, even the taste is adapted to local preferences. Less sweet, more fizzy. It's not trying to be Coke or Pepsi, it's deliberately different, and that's why it works. When a product feels like home, you don't need massive ads, just real connection. Beating global giants with price and proximity. One of the biggest reasons Salam Cola continues to thrive is simple: it's affordable. In many countries where it's sold, like Iran, Syria, Lebanon, and parts of South Asia, income levels are low, inflation is high, and foreign products are expensive due to taxes, sanctions, or import costs. Coca-Cola and Pepsi, as imported or premium international brands, often sell at higher prices. For an average working-class family, a bottle of Coke is not a daily habit. It's a luxury. That's where Salam Cola wins. Because it's produced locally, it avoids high import duties. It uses regional ingredients, local bottling facilities, and local labor. This means the final product is significantly cheaper, sometimes half the price of Coke or Pepsi. But low price doesn't mean low quality. Salam Cola positions itself as both affordable and dignified, a drink that respects your pocket and your culture. It also wins on availability. In small towns, village shops, and even roadside stalls where Coke and Pepsi aren't regularly stocked, Salam Cola is almost always present. Local distributors are able to reach places that global brands often overlook. They don't rely on massive logistics chains. They work with neighborhood retailers, corner stores, and even family-run businesses. In these areas, Salam Cola becomes more than a choice. It becomes the default. Parents buy it for their kids' birthdays. Restaurants serve it as their main soft drink. Street vendors chill it in their carts. It's priced for the people, made by the people, and sold in the places where the people actually live. And when you combine affordability with accessibility and identity, you get a product that doesn't just compete, it replaces the competition. One of the most surprising reasons for Salam Cola's rise is this: it succeeded not despite global instability, but because of it. In countries like Iran, Syria, and Palestine, years of political turmoil, economic sanctions, and war have made it difficult, or even impossible, for multinational corporations like Coca-Cola and Pepsi to operate. When sanctions were placed on Iran, for example, many Western companies pulled out or were forced to shut down local operations. That meant no more Coca-Cola, no more Pepsi. The shelves went empty, but people didn't stop drinking cola. Instead, they turned to what was available and aligned with their values. That's when Salam Cola stepped up. It filled the gap instantly, not just as a physical replacement, but as a symbolic one. It wasn't just about having a soft drink. It was about self-reliance, about showing that you didn't need foreign companies to enjoy the basics of life. In Palestine, during periods of intense conflict, many citizens actively boycotted Western brands, either due to perceived political affiliations or direct calls for economic resistance. In Lebanon and Syria, the same pattern repeated. Instability pushed out the big brands, and local alternatives like Salam Cola took over. And even in places where Coke and Pepsi never fully left, their availability was limited and their prices too high. Salam Cola used these moments to expand its presence, strengthen distribution networks, and grow a loyal customer base. These weren't just markets of last resort. They were opportunities to prove loyalty to the people, especially when global giants disappeared during difficult times. In many ways, Salam Cola's success during bans and sanctions isn't just a story of survival. It's a story of standing firm when others walked away. And for the people drinking it, that loyalty means everything. Cultural and political symbol, more than just a drink. Salam Cola is no longer just a soft drink. It has become a symbol of resistance, self-reliance, and cultural pride. In many regions, drinking Salam Cola means supporting local business, standing against Western dominance, and expressing identity without saying a word. For the youth, it's a way to reject imported culture and embrace something that feels like their own. It's not about taste alone. It's about belonging. When you hold a can of Salam Cola, you're not just holding a beverage, you're holding a message. We don't need global giants to define us. Can it really beat Coke and Pepsi? A regional giant in a global war. When we ask whether Salam Cola can beat Coca-Cola and Pepsi, we have to define what winning really means. If we're talking about global dominance, billion-dollar revenue, or presence in 200-plus countries, then no, Salam Cola isn't there. It may never be. But if we're talking about regional loyalty, cultural alignment, and consumer trust, then Salam Cola is absolutely winning, especially in the markets it was made for. In places where Coca-Cola and Pepsi are seen as symbols of unwanted foreign influence, Salam Cola isn't just competing, it's leading. It has filled the vacuum left by global brands during sanctions, conflicts, and boycotts. And in doing so, it has created a market of its own, where foreign competitors feel out of place. Salam Cola has proven that you don't need to be everywhere to be powerful. You just need to understand the people you serve better than anyone else. It might never be on every supermarket shelf in America or Europe, but in parts of Iran, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine, it doesn't need to be. Because there, Salam Cola isn't just the local option, it's the preferred one. And that's something money can't buy. A revolution in a can. The story of Salam Cola isn't just about a drink. It's about how everyday choices, even something as small as what soda you buy, can carry weight, meaning, and identity. In a world where most products are mass-produced and culturally hollow, Salam Cola reminds us that local matters, that values matter, that sometimes success isn't about going global, it's about going deep into the hearts of the people who matter most. So no, Salam Cola may never topple Coke or Pepsi on Wall Street, but it doesn't need to, because it has already won something more important, the trust of the people it was made for. And maybe, just maybe, that's the future of branding. Not domination, but connection. Not more reach, but more meaning. A revolution in a can.